42. It is a Wednesday morning, which means an hour from now we'll be playing Hometown Scramble. All right, weather-wise today, it's cold. We should see plenty of sunshine. And, you know, that helps, especially when you get into February. That sun angle is higher in the sky, and there's not going to be a ton of wind today either. So, although cold, manageable. Highs today will reach into the middle and upper 20s. We're sitting at 19 now, but we're still going down. We'll probably come down a handful of degrees as the wind continues to lighten up. Tomorrow is the first alert weather day. We are going to be tracking some snow and some mixed precipitation. Accumulating snow still looks likely. We're talking generally about a couple of inches. The timing would probably start between about 8 and 9 o'clock, somewhere in that time frame, you know, so like mid-morning, the second half of the evening commute. And then it would become steady for a few hours, coming down pretty good. And then it will lighten up and end as a bit of a mix and some freezing drizzle perhaps as we get into the afternoon. So it will end as a bit of a mix. So it's a dry start to your morning commute. You know, if you're heading out 8, 9 o'clock, the snow will start to break out. And then around lunchtime, you know, of course, that'll probably be the worst in terms of the road conditions. For the evening commute, roads will still be icy. There'll be a bit of freezing drizzle. Untreated surfaces will be icy. And then things will dry off 6, 7 o'clock and we'll get some partial clearing tomorrow night. So it is during the daylight hours that we're dealing with this system for the most part. Winter weather advisory is in effect from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. tomorrow. A lot of sunshine around today. That sunshine sticks around, and we'll see just maybe a few high thin clouds later on. Temperatures will come up into the mid-20s. Cold tonight. Now with a clear sky early and not much wind, temps will fall pretty quickly, close to 10 by like 11 o'clock, and we'll hang out in the upper single digits and lower teens. So frigid start to your day tomorrow. So once the snow moves in, it will have no problem accumulating on surfaces that aren't treated. So, you know, it's that light, fluffy snow as well. And you say, okay, why is it going to change over? Because we have warm air that's going to move in aloft. So the flakes change into raindrops, but with that cold air at the surface, it changes into a sleet pellet or a bit of freezing rain. That would be during the afternoon. The bulk of the precipitation is out by like 2, 3 o'clock, but little leftover low-level moisture can create a glaze and a coating. That would be as we head into the second half of the afternoon. And then winding down in the evening, we're drying out. And we're thinking 2 to 4 inches of snowfall, 2 or 3 in the lower valley, maybe a little more up along Route 2, closer to 3 or 4. And there will be a little bit of glaze and freezing rain as well. So just kind of a nasty day tomorrow with this storm system. It's not a huge storm. There won't be a lot of wind with it, but certainly that precipitation moving in the form of snow and then a mix. The storm hasn't even developed yet. It's going to today out across the nation's midsection where there's a temperature contrast here that'll spark up an area of low pressure that'll head towards the Ohio River Valley. Plenty of cold air in place for us. So as the warm front approaches, it's cold enough that it is indeed going to be all snow, but it is, or mainly snow. But again, it's a warm front, so that warm air overrides the cold air and it ends as a bit of freezing drizzle in the afternoon and evening. And then we'll dry it out tomorrow night. Friday is going to be blustery 30s, maybe a few snow showers across the hill towns and higher terrain. That colder air is working in behind our system. And then your next weather maker, it's low pressure. That's Saturday night into Sunday. And we could be talking about perhaps a steady snow ending as a mix in the morning on Sunday, and that could bring in a few inches of accumulation. That would be well after dark Saturday and then probably ending Sunday morning. So no rest for the weary. Saturday night into Sunday, maybe being a first alert weather day as well. All right, well, more weather in a few minutes. Amanda, back to you.